Welcome back, everybody. My name is Sarah. A great big warm welcome to subscriber number 13. Our little channel is growing very, very quickly. At least in my opinion. I know there's channels out there with millions of subscribers, but I never imagined I'd get past 10 subscribers. So anyway, before the holidays, I ordered a bunch of these large hole beads. And I intended to make a bunch of these, before Christmas. As you can see, they're somewhat Christmas themed. There's, Santa's sleigh and reindeer and snowmen, snowflakes. But I didn't get around to it. I needed a couple more pieces to make anything from them, so it got put off until after Christmas. But I'm going to show you how I turned them into earrings like this. It's not really a tutorial, I just figured I'd take you along with me to make some earrings. Part of the process is gluing bead caps to the tops of these. Because obviously the hole is much too big for the earring pins. So you have to make them so that they won't pop off the pins, and part of that is putting a bead on the bottom to hold it in place and then a bead cap on the top to hold it in place. And I don't really like working with the glue. It's difficult. Jewelry glue adheres almost immediately. So it's not all that fun. You start to put on a bead cap and your finger suddenly is stuck to the bead and you have to tear it off, and it's just not great. So it's definitely not an activity for children to do. It's for someone with steady hands who doesn't mind if their fingerprints get ripped off. So here we go. So back when the large hole beads started to really come into popularity, it was mainly for bracelets. I saw one person using them in earrings. Actually, I saw two people using them in earrings. One of them, because of the way that the beads are, you can't just put them on the pin. They're gonna flop all over the place if you try to do it that way. And the other person had taken a string of seed beads, very, very tiny beads, and slipped the larger bead over it, made a loop, and hung that from a hook earring. And my mom didn't want to do that. She didn't want it to look sloppy, and she didn't want to make, big old loops. So she threw it to me, and I started to work at how to do it. She designed the earring herself, and then it was my job to put them together. And, I did try to figure it out for quite a while. We did come up with one thing. We had beads that were big enough to stop up the holes, to stop the large bead from wobbling, and small enough to fit under a bead cap. So that's what we did for a while, until I found the jewelry and metal glue. And we started working with that on a completely different project. We were making puzzle earrings, and to, glue the little rhinestones to the puzzle pieces, we would use the jewelry glue. And eventually I was looking at the large hole earrings that we were doing, and I was like, well, why don't I just take some of the weight out of it and just glue the bead caps to the, metal ring at the top. So she let me try it with one pair, and it came out really, really nice. And so I took apart all the ones that we'd done with the hidden bead inside and redid them without the hidden bead and just glued the caps on to hold them in place. Yeah, nothing extreme or fancy, it's just the story of how we started doing this particular style of earring. Mom really liked it. She saw them as, like, the shape of them being like old-fashioned Christmas ornaments, like blown glass ornaments, where they'd have that really large bubble at the top and then it would decrease down to the bottom. And maybe you've never seen them, and maybe I'm not describing them very well. But old-fashioned blown glass Christmas ornaments had a very distinct shape to them, and it was a bit like these earrings that we were making. So, I don't know. I just think they're pretty, and I actually like making them, even when I wind up getting glue stuck to my knuckles and just have to wait for it to come off by itself. There's really no way to wash this glue off. You either have to painstakingly peel it off or just wait for it to come off on its own. Either way, it's not all that pleasant, so if you're going to try to do this, be extremely careful with the glue. I don't want anyone hurting themselves. So, there you go. We've made some pretty little earrings. These ones are super, super lightweight. I know that they look kind of big and clunky, but these particular large hole beads were very lightweight. So if you want to see more stuff like this, leave a comment below. Let me know. But I hope you all have a great evening, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.